So this was the report which we were working last day. So let's start with the new report first. Let's name the report 1. So let's get this report and add. Okay, so now we are on the blank record. Okay, so before we proceed, we were last day we were discussing about a parameterized query. Okay, so let's discuss it in this SQL statement. I'm doing nothing but I'm just simply just concentrate on this part. Here I'm using this select order ID and ship country from orders, which means I'm selecting a country for each order ID. Okay, and I will be using this where condition, and there I will pass the value using parameter. So let's copy this. Okay, so before this I will create a shared data set. I will use this SQL orders because this is connected with our SQL Northwind database. Okay, so here I will paste the same query. Okay, so here we have one parameter at the rate country. So when you after pasting the query, which means we are providing a where clause, and in that we will be passing some value from this parameter to this ship country column. Okay, so let's go to this parameter tab. It will automatically detect that country parameter from the SQL statement. Okay, so it has already detected, like we have this at the rate country parameter in our SQL statement, so you can list you can say it in this tab. Okay, but obviously that country column, okay, so country has a data type of text, so we need to define the data type of this parameter which we are having in our SQL query. So let's define it. So we know like that data type is text, so select it, name it as we are having order ID and country. Okay, so we are naming the data set, click OK. So now we have a parameterized data set. Okay, now add the same shared data set to our report. Okay, so here we have order ID country, so we will select that shared data set and name it. So in this data set we are having only two columns. For each order ID we are having country. For that, click OK. So by default it will detect that parameter to our this parameter folder. Okay, so we are having the same country in our report. Okay, and how we define it, like we have created a shared data set here and we define the parameter here itself using the SQL query. Okay, and we have changed the data type of that parameter, this parameter tab, and now we are calling the same shared data set in our report. Okay, so when we call that the same shared data set, it will automatically detect the parameter, which means it will list down the parameter from here. So now let's quickly create a simple table. Okay, and obviously I will try to pull this both columns, ship country also. Okay, and remove this column. Okay, so we have this and one more thing, we can add a chart here. I'm just adding it for simplicity to fill the space. Let's select this pie chart, click OK, drag it to the screen. Okay, so click on any area between this chart, so it will pop up the values here. Okay, so we want something like count of order ID, and that count of order ID will be categorized and grouped to this ship country. Okay, but I don't want the sum of order ID. It is taking by default because the data type of this order ID is integer, so by default it is taking sum, but I want count of that order ID. Okay, so click on this drop down, and from there you will have this aggregation, and you can select this count. Okay, so we are just creating a table with two columns and a chart, pie chart. Now go back to this preview. Let's see what we have created now. Actually, we are passing parameters to the SQL query. Wait for a second, it will populate. Okay, so obviously it will list down this parameter here. So when we provide the some country name, so let's put USA. As we know, there is a USA country. Take new report. Okay, so we are passing this filter value to the shared data set, and how the value is being filtered, which means we are passing this USA value to the where clause of the SQL statement. Okay, to this value. So this is like a passing parameter to the SQL statement. So the next question was like how to select multiple values, like we want for USA and for France. Okay, so how to select those things. So for to do these USA and for France, we need to change something here. So suppose when we were providing a SQL statement here, like a SIP country equal to this. So suppose we have two values, so we will replace this same where clause with something new. Hold a second, just copy in. Suppose I want values from two countries. So how will you write a query in SQL? This will be like in USA, comma France. Okay. So when we execute this, so this query will return value orders from those two countries. Okay, so you can see here that we are having orders from those two countries, from USA and France. So how to do this thing in using a parameterized thing, which means the question was from the Priyanka, like how to select multiple values. Okay, in our from our report. Okay, so we will use this same thing, which means US in statement, like city should be in some value, which means that will contain multiple values. So instead of writing country, we can pass the this at the rate country. Okay, so the same parameter. So go back to our data set and quickly edit things like this. Okay, so the query which we are having like this shared data set, and here we will provide this thing replace equal to type in, and that will take value from this country, provide a bracket here. Okay, now click OK. So we have edited our this order ID country, which means this is a shared data set. By default it will take it here. Okay, so the next point will we go to this country parameter here and change the property of this on the general. Click this like allow multiple values. Click this, click OK, and now try to preview this. Okay, so it will ask like how you will select the multiple values. Okay, so there is one more thing. I will go to this design tab. Just disable this multiple value because this when you will enable this, it will list down the drop down. Click OK. Go to this preview. So you can type it here like no, it will not take USA, comma France. Okay, so it is not taken because due to this uh, comma. So let's go to the next new section, like how to get values in our drill down. Okay, so go to this design tab and enable it. For multiple values, click OK. Before this, which means we need to provide values to our drop down. Okay, so I will create a new data set that will extract the list of distinct values of countries. Okay, so come here, I have prepared a select statement. As you can see, I am selecting distinct ship country from the same table. It will only list down the available countries from the table. Okay, I will put these values, okay, into our this report, and while we were previewing it, so it will give you like drop down. So here we will publish the same result, this value. Okay, so copy it. To do that, in this we need to have a shared data set. Right click, add view data set, take this equal, paste it here, and here we will not provide any parameters, and rename it as list underscore country, and click OK. So we are just fetching the distinct values from same table that will contain the country names. Now come back to this report, go to this design tab, right click on it, add a data set, which means we will add the same list country. Click on it, rename it. Click OK. So we are just fetching the distinct values of ship country. Now we will pass this list of countries to this parameter. So double click on it, country. We have enabled like multiple values, and next thing will be like defining available values. Okay, so you can manually define it, or you can get the values from a query, which means from the some data set. So select this. It will give you an option like through which data set you want to have the values. Okay, so we have created a list of countries, so select this. And default select all these things. Okay, click OK. Now come back to our preview. So now when you drop down, you will have the list of countries. Okay, so here we can select multiple things. Suppose I want from Brazil and Germany, USA, Brazil, Germany. Select this and click view reports. Now we will have the value there. So is it clear like what we are doing? We have created a list down report and passing parameters and defining values to the parameters. Is there any doubt, like confusion or something?
What is this kind of report what you generated now, Sanjay? You used two kinds of data sets, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is this what the question I asked yesterday?
yes, exactly. Like your question was like what I want report for two countries like USA and Brazil or some more.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So for those things you can have this drill down. oh sorry, list down values, and here you can have multiple things. If you want a single, then you can select single itself also. And why we created this list of country? Because we are predefining the values. Okay, so user will have only option to select these only. He cannot provide other names, like he cannot provide China if it is not here.
Without giving another dataset, can't you select two different values?
So in any case, you need to provide it. Okay,
Can
so
you tell
for
me
that,
a
yes,
different dataset?
sorry, come again.
Can you explain my question without doing it with like without adding another dataset?
Okay, so without adding it, so we need to define it, like we selected this option, like select multiple values. Okay, this multiple, allow multiple values. So when you select this, so by default it will have this. When you enable this, so by default it will give you an option to select multiple values from the list down. Okay, so for that you need to provide this available value. So either you can specify values like what you want to select. So you can add here multiple things like we know USA, France, or something like this. So when you provide like USA.
Okay, without giving dataset, you can do it here. And if you do
Yes,
here, like if you don't do here, you have to give a dataset. That's it, right?
yes, exactly. So,
Okay,
let's do it.
got it.
Okay. Sorry, I need to provide some.
You have to select that
Um,
no, you have to select that value also, Sanjay.
oh,
Beside that label, there is a value part, so you have to select it.
so now we'll have only two options. Like we are predefining USA and France. So here itself you can select. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So the next thing we will have is like linked reports. Okay. So suppose we are having the same thing. Here we are having two values, like one is yellow one is for USA and blue one is for France. Okay, but I want to have values, which means I want to have more details to this blue region. So we will add an interactivity, which means action to this chart. Okay, and we will when we click on this area, it will open a new report. Okay, so that we call as a linked report. So let's see how to do that. So I am reverting back this. Okay, to get the list of countries. Okay. Okay. So for this, we need to create some data set and a new report, which means in linked report, when we click on some region, it will open a new report on the same page. Okay. So for that, let's create a new report here. And for that report, obviously, we want some details. So let's have a query here. So I have pre-prepared it. So I will explain like what is it. So I'm selecting in select statement. I'm having these columns like order ID, order date, ship city, ship region, and ship country. Okay, so I'm having more details about the orders, and from the same table, and I'm having this parameter into this. So this query is similar to the first one, but we are having equality. Earlier one in I'm having n, and the table is same. Okay, but we are having some 2 3 more columns. So you can say like it's a detail about the country, order countries. Control copy it and create a new data set using this query. So type it into detail. Use this connection string, write the text. Okay, and for this I am creating a new parameter with the country detail. Okay, go to this parameters and change the data type of this. Let it be text. Click OK. So we have created a new data set with country details, and come to this. Let's create a new report. Add new item. Select it and let it be RDL2. Add. Okay. So here when you add a data set, select the same shared data set as country detail. Name it. Click OK. By default, it will sense the parameter from the query. Okay, so quickly create a simple table again. And in this table, we will list all the things, all columns. What is the order date, and from which city we got that order, and what is the country for it. Let this be country so that we can verify. Drag it to the middle. Okay, so when you preview it, yes, it will ask you about the value, which means we are simply creating a parameterized report. And before doing this, when you provide this USA or some France, then you can have the values. Okay, so this report is taking one parameter that is for country detail. Okay, and in our report 1, we will try to link this report 1 to report 2, and we will pass the parameter value from report 1 to report 2, which means, and what is the required parameter for report 2 is the country detail. Okay, so this value we will pass from this report 1, and how we will pass, like we will pass using that interactivity, which means when we select on some region of pie chart, which means when I click on this region blue, which means it belongs to Italy, so this Italy will be passed to this second report here, and this report will only have information about Italy only. So let's do this. So before this, I don't want this variable to be seen. Okay, so or let it be, but it's better to hide it. So double click on it, because we will be passing this value from report 1. So make this from the general tab, you can hide it. Click OK. Okay, now come back to this report 1. Okay, so everything is good, but when you will be in design tab, click on this chart region, right click, and go to the series properties. Okay, so in any chart, which means suppose you while you are having this column chart or bar chart, you can have the same thing. Just right click on the chart and you will have this series property. Click on it and you will have these things, but in this you will find this action. Okay, so we will define an action to our chart. Okay, so here you will have so many things, like you can go to the bookmark, you can go to the URL, but now we want to link our report. So go to this tab, go to report, and here you will define like which report you want to open. Okay, so we have created a report 2. Select this, and here you will add like which parameter you want to pass to report 2. So select add. Okay, and from this drill down name, when you drill down it, it will automatically sense from the report 2 like which parameter is required for this report 2. So when you click this, you will have a country detail, because in our report 2 we have parameter name with country detail. Okay, so we are having the same thing here. Click it, and yes, which value you want to pass from report 1. So when you drop down this, it will list down the two values, because in our chart we are having these two things, which means we are having count of order ID, and that count is a good that count is represented on pie chart using the ship country. So we want to pass the ship country value from report 1. So click this. Now click OK. So now we have added action to this chart. And why we added? Because we want to link another report. Okay, so let's do the formality, like suppose multiple things here: USA, Germany, Mexico, and let it be some more Brazil. Click the reports. Okay, so we are having all these things. Before this, I want to enable the data level. Okay, so I'm coming back here. Right click on the chart and click this show data level. So you will have the values of numbers, the count of orders while you will be previewing the report. Click the reports. So now we are having these things, like from this USA we are having 122, and from this Finland we are having 22 orders. This in the same way we are having for the Finland. But when you hover to this chart, you will see a hyperlink. Okay, this hand button. So it is saying like we can, when we click on it, it will have some link to it. So let's suppose we are having for this Finland 22 orders from this. So when we click on it, so it will open the second report, and that we are defining it as a details to these orders. Let's click on it. Okay, so it is navigating us to the second report on the same page, and you can see here that the result is for only the Finland, and we are having those 22 orders. Okay, so this kind of what we call as a linked report. But you want to go to that some other country, so click on this back bar. Okay, and you can go to other country also. So suppose you want to have a detail about this Mexico, click on it. Now you will have details about the orders from the Mexico, like about these order IDs and what are the dates and what is the ship sheet. Okay, so is it clear like how we are linking the reports?
Yeah. Can't we do this without using a pie chart? I mean, like without using any charts or anything. Can we do it in the report also? Normal select data sets and everything. Can we do it like that?
Into this table?
Uh-huh.
Yes, I think that we can.
Because we always don't use the charts and everything, right? We always prefer for tables or matrix mostly, not
Yes,
charts. So can we
exactly,
do it in the
exactly.
charts too?
Yes, there also we have an option. There is an action tab here also. Okay, so the same thing you can do here also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so repeat the same thing for what you are doing for the chart one. Okay, so now you will have the hand on it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because we have added action to it. So when you click on it, it will open the same thing. You will have the orders from the USA.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, so I think whenever you try to right click on anything, so there you will find the action tab. Okay, so there you can link other reports also.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and now the next thing which we have left is how to call procedures. Okay, stored procedures. Okay, so let's create a new data set for that. Before this, I want to discuss what are the stored procedures we are having in our database. Okay, so for this, the database we are using is Northwind. In this database, we have predefined stored procedures. Okay, so when you go to this stored procedure, you will have this list of available predefined stored procedure we are having here. So suppose we are having sales by year. Right click on it, click on modify. It will show you like what is the behind query. Okay, so here you can see like what we are having in our procedure. What is the SQL statement inside that procedure? So here you can see like we are having two variables, beginning date and end date, and both are having date time as a data type of these two variables. And what we are selecting in using this variable, we are selecting order, ship date, order ID, which means we are having joins with the orders and order subtotals. Okay, and from these two tables we are selecting some columns like ship date and order ID and some subtotal, and we are deriving some more columns as a year from the ship date. Okay, so there are 3-4 columns here, and in where clause we are providing this range, which means suppose I'm selecting some January 2015 to January 2016. So we are just passing these parameter values to the ship date, and here we are filtering the data depending on the value of the ship date, this variable date. Okay, so now you got like in this procedure what we are doing. Okay, so let's call this procedure from this SSRS. Create a new data set here. Select this. Okay, so this is connected with the same Northwind database. Now click on this store procedure option. Okay, so now we'll have this. When you click on drop down, it will automatically list down the all stored procedures which are available on that database. So here we will have sales by year, the same procedure which we are seeing here. Sales by year, sales by year. This is the procedure name. So we will select this. Okay, when you go, we have selected this. When you go to this parameter, it will automatically list down the available uh, parameters from those procedures. You can see like that procedure contains two parameters with beginning date and end date, and it is also sensing the data type from the procedure itself. Okay, because we have defined it in our SQL, SQL of that procedure. Come back here, click OK. Sorry, I need to rename that. Let's call it SP. Click OK. Now create a new report here. Let it be report 3. Click add. Into the data set, add the same SP. Okay, select this, rename it. Click OK. Now when you select this, you will have the same parameter here also. Okay, so here you can see like we are having an end date and all, beginning date and end date. Okay, so before this, let's create a simple table with these values. So order ID, ship date, and here this also will bring the subtotal. To add a new column, simply right click on this. You will have the option of insert. Okay, so now we are having this simple table. Move it to the center. Okay, so when you preview it, it will obviously give you the two parameter values. Okay, so here you can see like we are just sensing these parameters from our store procedure, and the data type of that store parameter is date. So by default you do not need to provide the date, you can select it from this calendar. Okay, but we were having as this north wind is having data that contains our order date. I think it is 96, 97 and 98. Okay, so we cannot provide like 2016 because there are no rows with this value, because this Northwind contains order date from 96, 97 and 98. So do this quickly. When you click on this region, you can zoom out. Okay, so we know like those will be into this range, and we know like this Northwind contains order date in this here 96. So select this January, and from those I want orders which are from 1st January 96. Let's copy it and paste it here and make it 97. Okay, so we want a list of orders which are from these two dates, in between two days, which means obviously we are having 1 year. Now click view reports. So now we are listing down all orders which are having order date in between these two. Is it order date or ship date? We can see inside our this. So it is order ship date. Okay, so here we are providing this ship date. Okay, so these are the list of order IDs which has been shipped between these two dates. Okay, so you can navigate to the next page, and there is the list is very big. So, yes, we are having this 1197. We got one order. Is it clear like how we are calling store procedure and how we are sensing the parameters from the store procedures? Simply select this option, create a data set with this, and select this store procedure, and from drop down you will have the list of store procedure from that database, and go to this parameter to see what are the different parameters available from that store procedure. So you can preview it and click OK, but I'm clicking cancel. We have already defined it, and create a new report, and from there you can add a data set, and that data set obviously will select as store procedure, and it will automatically sense the parameters from those store procedure, and you can preview it here. Is it clear like how we are calling store procedure?
Yeah.
Okay, we did calculated field charts, parameters, let's down, conditional formatting, linked reports, and let's deploy all these reports again. Simply go to this project, right click on it, and deploy. Because we have already predefined the reporting server link. You can watch the progress. to this right down corner. And the next thing which we are left is sub reports. Okay, so how to create sub reports inside this SSRS. So I think we will see tomorrow like how to work with or how to create a sub report. Do you people are familiar with the MCSC certification,
No.
Microsoft certified or MSBI certified professionals? There are list of exams. Okay, so let me give up to few of that because it is taking time to deploy. You can navigate. Simply search MS. It's MCSE or something like that. Yes, MCSE. So there are a list of exams that contains the parts of MSBI. There are 5 exams, and first one starts with SQL, querying SQL server. So when you complete this list of exams, then you will be a certified business intelligence professional. And how to do this? First, in this exam 461, this all deals with the T-SQL statement only. And this next one is the database DB part. And this implementing data warehouse is this part deals with the SSIS. Okay, and this data model thing deals with the SSAS, which includes both versions, multidimensional and tabular. And this business intelligence with this last part deals with the SSRS. Sorry, this fourth one includes ES and RS both. Earlier, this business intelligence certification last year it was having 4 exams, but now they have included one more. Why I'm talking about this is because these whole exams are is familiar with MSBI. Okay, because this first part is third exam is for SSIS, and this fourth one is for SSAS, which means data modeling and reports, that is for SSRS. And now they have included this fifth one, business intelligence. So you can click on it to see the syllabus. So if you people are interested, then you can prepare for these exams also.
Are they really hard? If I don't know MSBI, can I pass? Like if I read?
Sorry, there was blockage in the voice.
Are they really hard or they'll be like generous?
No, they are not general. They don't ask about starting. But if you strictly follow the syllabus, then you can clear.
Did you write it?
Sorry,
Did you write this
what you want
certificate?
to? No, I haven't cleared this, but I'm preparing for this fifth one. This one, 467. Course detail. And this one is for. Oh, this one is for SSAs and reporting. So you can see here what is you can find in syllabus like OLAP code. SSA is online analytic processing. Here you can see introduction to multidimensional analysis, how to add data source, creating cubes, data source modifying views, and all those things. Creating dimension, working with cubes, measures and measure group, and introduction to MDX, enhancing, and there is a tablet data model. So now you people are familiar with all these things. Okay, so the next step should be to get these certification if you people are interested. Okay, so in module 9 we are having reporting services, adding chart and all those things. Okay, and what is the next is this one is the last one. Why I'm preparing for this, because there is a very big trend about this self-service business intelligence and the big data solution. Self-service is, which means there is no need of SSIS, AS and RS. Okay, so there is a self-service tool, self-service business intelligence, which means that tool will contain SSIS, which means ETL, ES, and reporting. Let's see on the details. Here you can see what is self-service business intelligence, viewing reports, and obviously self-service is very similar to the Excel, because most of the people are having data inside their Excel and they create report on that. So those kind of work, you can say it's a self-service business intelligence. And now they have added some more tools to that. Is Power Pivot, it's a part of Power BI. There are so many openings with Power Pivot also, and this Power Pivot is very similar or almost 90% exact same as SSAS Tabular. If you know that, then you can easily learn this Power Pivot. As you can see here also we are using the same DEX in Power Pivot data model. And after that we have a Power Query. This thing is new, and this tool we call as a ETL of the self-service business intelligence. This is Power Query. The main work of this Power Query is to extract data, which means SSIS kind of work. And visualizing data will have Power View. So these things are available in Excel. Uh, that add-in we call as a Power BI. But they are introducing a standalone tool, so there is a very uh, quick updates available on these things. And then the next is the big data and Microsoft Azure SD Insights, and how to work on these data, which means if you have very uh, these are the next uh, data concepts. Okay, so these I'm trying for these. Okay, but if you people are interested, then you should go with this MCSA Business Intelligence Certification, and it is having like 5 exams. Now go back to our report. Let's say it has been deployed or not, could not connect. Okay, obviously I need to open this. Deployed 0, succeeded 1, failed. Let's see if it's it. I think I need to run this SS Visual Studio as an administrator. So before this, save it. Close this. Navigate it to home, and we will have an option run as administrator. Click this. So tomorrow we'll try to wind up all things. I'm trying to deploy the same thing which we created now. Okay, now it is deploying. Okay, one by one it is uploading the reports. Okay, so we have successfully deployed. I'll go back to this Explorer, refresh it, and go to this report sample project folder. And here we are having this all those things. So click on this report one. Okay, so we are having the same UI window here. From the drop down, you can select all those multiple things. Report. My system is slow, so it is taking time. Okay, so we are having the same window. Let's go quickly to this for 18, which means we are navigating to the Switzerland. And for there, you can see like it has now navigated to the report 2. Okay, so we are having the same reports which we developed on this Visual Studio. Okay, so you can navigate to the home also. Is it clear like how we are working with the same from the zero to the deployment? Do people have any doubts or you want to discuss something?
No.
Okay then, so we will wind up this session and we will meet tomorrow at the same time. And what is left for this SSRS is the sub reports, and we will see some more customization to the report. Okay, so see you tomorrow. Okay, bye bye all.
Bye.